Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Virgo. The sun is now in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the blender, is the one that is able to put the water and the fire together only if he uses his five senses. Because when we calculate the 14 together, we get the 5. And you understand here the delicacy of this task. Giving the light to Virgo, which I place here because we're going to the right, we're going to your full moon, and the 9th major arcana and the 14th major arcana. So all calculated together, we get the 23, we have the 20 in there, and the 20 is Pluto, the last judgment. And I am doing special readings right now, giving you the information of Pluto in Aquarius, because on the 19th of November, Pluto finally went into Aquarius and will stay there for 20 years. And so the judgment or the call, the calling is Pluto, and we're going to look at that. So the 20 in the 23 is there, right? And the 2 is also the High Priestess, using your intuition to create this new understanding of what is happening, right? Of a wake-up call. And the 3, we have the Empress there, and that's Venus. And Venus is always, we create new things. So a beautiful combination is coming here to you through Sagittarius, through the soul aspect, right, of Sagittarius. And in this blending, we recognize that a star can appear, because usually you have a star here in this lantern. Here, Luca Pacioli, he's like a calculating genius, right? And he actually created the bookkeeping system. And he is really a one-of-a-kind personality, because as a hermit, we really go deeper within into our higher consciousness and use the information that comes there. Now, of course, the sun here is bringing you the light through Sagittarius, right, to the moon, which is in your sign. And the moon is always opposite of you. So when the moon is in your sign, you feel Pisces. You feel your opposite sign very strongly, right? And here in this deck with Salvador Dali, you see Manhattan. And it's really interesting because I'm, as a soul, the Virgo, but as a court card, I'm not the Knight of Pentacles. I'm already the Queen of Swords. It's really interesting when I do your reading and I see Manhattan, it kind of brings a nostalgic side up in me, because I used to live 17 years in New York. And so I feel that, right? I feel that you feel through Pisces this longing for something bigger than you could imagine. So the 23, then the 5 is left, the 5 senses that we fight constantly to overcome and to come into the 6th sense, into the 3rd eye. The yoga position for Sagittarius is Paschimottanasana, the forward bend. In that forward bend, we find who we are. We find a deeper longing, right? We find that we see that there is something calling us. And of course, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and so Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune, but we're not going to look at the Wheel of Fortune because it's your reading. Now you are up at the mountain again, and you are here seeing the past and the future within this cosmic egg, and you are ruled by Mercury. And so Mercury is the magician, and we're gonna look, of course, at that as well. So this is bringing you a deeper understanding of how we can take action right? A certain type of action. And sometimes we feel like we are blocked by life. But I think we're going to see what now Pluto in Aquarius wanting to tell you, because Aquarius is an air sign and Pluto was 15 years in Capricorn, and it was all about how am I climbing on the social ladder. And of course, that's also business oriented. You are the Caballero de Oros, the Knight of Pentacles. Is your birthday between August 13 and September 11, then this is your court card, right? Understand that you really need to recognize that he is going to the left, but when you become the card, he's going to the right. And in that action, you see that Virgo is the alchemist. She goes first within and then she brings the knowledge out. And as the sixth zodiac sign, you're connected with the sixth house of work and routine. And in there you feel comfortable, right? You feel good when you do the same things over and over again. But also remember, sometimes that can trap you. Back to the last reading where we had Scorpio Sun giving Virgo Moon the light. 22 swords. You are foolish enough to know it's a sign to start fresh. I do remember there were a lot of swords, and interesting enough, only one card remains, and that's one that is repeating itself. So we're going to look at that, and there is another one that is coming back. And so I think that's it. Yep. So you have two cards coming back from the last reading, and we're going to actually look at that. Why are they coming back again? And so I will begin with Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius. I'm using the Lifruma Healing Oracle, and you got the past whirlpool, order, swelgness. So this is the rune alphabet here, and you see the letter up in the corner. It's kind of like a triangle, right? And you see there is a whirlpool that is pulling you in, and I'm just going to read you this card. Nostalgia is a poisoned vine winding its toxic creeping arms around your feet to hold you still in the vortex of swirling memories. As the past chokes and drags you under into all that was, it creates a growing, tangling depth on the steps you should take to walk your future. Order is here to hold you back. Order praises your past glories. Order knots them into the failures you allow to shame you. Stop order. Dead. Dead is what the past is. The 51. So something is holding you back because you keep constantly thinking that in the past you were unfortunately treated a certain way, and so you now think that that is something that you're dragging behind you, like this shackle on your feet, and it's almost like you're dragging it into the future. You keep dragging this with you because Aquarius is bringing the Page of Pentacles, and that's you. That's Taurus, that's Virgo, and that's Capricorn. But you see, she is holding here this watering can like a handbag. And in this watering can is water, and water is emotions, or our emotions, right? And I think you can let go of that. It's almost like when you give your tears to the flower grows and you can experience a new cycle. And yes, you had these experiences. Yes, you are coming through a lot of difficulties. But also remember that these difficulties make you who you are and make you a personality that has lived through difficulties and has gotten strong, has grown out of it. It's like this seed, right? And so I think you should allow yourself now to come into the 6, because the 51, we have the 5 senses and we have the 1 sense, which is the third eye. So the 6 appears here. And here are 3 people. So the 6 and the 3 is the 9. And so you appear, right? And in the 9, you recognize, wait a minute, I have grown stronger. Do you think other people don't go through difficulties? Only you go through difficulties? We all go through difficulties. And yes, you can tell yourself, yeah, but my difficulties, they were more difficult than your difficulties. No, we cannot do that. You got to see your difficulties. You got to see how you have grown out of them and how you give them water by holding on to those emotions. And you can't hold on to those emotions. You got to let go of that. And the 9 appears. So the message is very clear for you. The calling is to let go of what happened in the past and step forward and be this white dressed, beautiful personality that says, well, I am gonna move on. And so the 9 and the 20 is the 29. Guess what? That's the 11. That's the inner teacher. That's the part in you that can overcome that. And so the lesson is to overcome that and to heal and to see that now in the next 20 years you have the opportunity to let go of this. And I hope you can let go of that, right? Because this is the message that you're getting from Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius. And Aquarius is bringing you the Page of Pentacles. You. And you going to the right. But when you become the card, you're going deep within, and you know deep within you can heal this energy. Then we look at the Knight of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords is coming up. And that's one of the cards that came last time. And so you still have 3 swords left from those 22 swords. Remember, the 22 is the Fool. That's Uranus. That's a new beginning. And here you see the 3 of Swords, which is Saturn in Libra. And Saturn is the world. And the world, we know, is going through a difficulty. And so you feel that. The 6 and the 3 is again the 9. I think it's kind of important for you to see now that you are learning something. And so these are the most important numbers. The 3, the 6, and the 9. And in there you recognize, right, the 3 and the 6 creates the 9. That this painful situation, this stabbing pain in your heart, is something that you need to let go of. Is that whirlpool that you holding on to. But if you give the water to these plants, then something new can grow. And this is just in your head. So let go and become the hermit that has overcome, that has let go of these kind of memories. What is coming through the Mother Peace Tarot? We get the World to the right. And so this is the world, Saturn, right? Saturn here, the world, comes and says, well, go out into the world, know that you have now become from the Fool the world, right? Because she is now at the end of the cycle. And you had 22 swords, right, back then. And so that's the beginning, but it's also the end. And the 21 is Saturn, and you are noticing Saturn here in Libra. Libra is one of those 3 air signs, right, that are now really strongly feeling the Pluto in Aquarius. And so there is a 3-3 or the 21, and the 3 is the 24, right? The 24 creates a 6 self-love. Then you have a 6-6 portal here. Or you create here out of the 21, the 3, and you have a 3-3. The 33 is in the secret brotherhood of the tarot, right? The mastery, the last degree that you can reach your higher consciousness. And so learn from this, become this incredible personality. And so you have a 3-3 and the 6. If we calculate it all together, we get the 12, right? And the 12 again is the Hanged Man, and in the Hanged Man we let go, right? We do inversions. We stand upside down and we let it all pour out. And the 3 is left, and the 3 is the Empress. But I want to see what is the world telling you, and the 4 of emotions are coming up. And the 4 of emotions is a very interesting card, right? So it's this moment where you have everything you need, but somehow you're not satisfied. You look at the 3 of Cups and you're not realizing you're sitting in the 4th cup. And it's somehow, something is lacking, you're not satisfied. And this is also a card that is coming back from the last time, right? And so you have the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Cups coming back. And the 4 of Cups is Moon in Cancer. And Moon in Cancer is saying, well, you are thinking about things, right? You are in your memory and dwelling in these feelings. And of course, since the world is here, the whole world is feeling that, well, back then, and the old people always say that, well, back then it was so much better. And it's not. It's kind of like, it's almost saying, well, back then the flowers were much more beautiful. They weren't. They're still beautiful. They're always beautiful. It's the new generation that sees the flower in a different perspective, right? And so learn that this is talking here. So the 3 and the 4 is the 7. That's the emotional intelligence. That's coming to your crown chakra and recognize what's going on here, because it's almost like you're dwelling in something that you don't need to dwell. You have the 4 of Cups. Look at you. You're sitting in the cup. You have everything you need, but somehow you like, no, I don't. Somehow these 3 cups, look at the 3 swords, right? So there is this 3-3, but it's like, well, no, not really. And the 3 here, it's like awaken, awaken, because you are stuck in something that you put yourself into. So wake up, come out of it, right? And let go. This is the whirlpool of all the past things that you could have, should have, would have. It's done, it's finished, right? Water the plants. Let go of these emotions and see how things grow around you. Okay, now we look at the Magician, and the Magician is bringing you the Sacrifice, the 44. And so here Mercury, the planet that is ruling you, is saying use your mind, use your language to see that you are using the 44. So you had already the 11 and you already had the 33. Now you get the 44. And you see she's facing the left, but when you become the card, she's facing that Sacrifice to the right. And so the 44 we leave as a portal, and you as the magician up is watching this. What is then coming from your deck? The Wheel of Fortune. Now the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, and Jupiter is ruling temperance, the blending. And so you gotta learn to blend the two hearts, the 2 times 4, right? The heart chakra. And so here comes indirectly temperance to you, letting you know that the 10 and the 1 is an 11. So you have the 44 and again the 11. The 11 is the inner teacher, is the inner master that is appearing, right? And you see this is really beautiful because something is telling you, here you can learn. Here you can understand that everything is coming and going. And this is also a whirlpool, right? That, yeah, certain things were there, but now they're not there anymore. And so you see how Dali has created an upper part that has not been lived yet, and here a lower part that is filled with information. And so you have the empty and you have the full. Learn to let go. Learn to give the sacrifice to the past, to the within, and come out of it. What is bringing you the Wheel of Fortune? The Sea Witch, the number 52. And so in the 52 we get the 5 senses, and the 2, the intuition, calculated together we get the 7. That's the emotional intelligence that you need to learn what there is to learn. The 10 and the 7 is the 17. That's Aquarius, and Aquarius brought you this. Become a sea witch. Become a personality that is creating something completely new. You are offering to the past, right, your heart, but at the same time, while you're offering it to the past, you are actually then giving it to your future self. And in there, you are learning to let go. You're learning everything is coming and going. And then you are learning to dive deep into these feelings, because remember the watering can. These are emotions that we're letting go. We're letting them drop into the ocean, and in the ocean we become newly born. The 17 turns into an 8. The 44 is an 8 as well, so it's almost like here's an 8-8 portal. But we also have the 11 here, right? The 11 and the 7 could be the 11th of July or the 7th of November. See for yourself which one of these dates are talking to you the strongest. So the Sea Witch, right? Remember the 7, the emotional intelligence, is something that you want to take on because you had the 7 here as well, right? The 3 and the 4. You had the 7 and the emotional intelligence that brought you let go, because up here we realize we need to let go. Then I want to see, of course, what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, and you get the 4 of Cups to the right one more time. And so to the right, the 4 of Cups are pointing to the Wheel of Fortune. Here you had the 4 of Cups through the world. So this is coming up twice, and it's saying, well, you gotta really look at this. It's not okay to sit in the cup of love. You are love. And looking at the 3 of Cups and thinking you don't have enough. And here we see this woman carrying 4 cups, and the river meets the ocean, and the 4 of Cups is pointing to the Wheel of Fortune. That creates a 14, and the 14 is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the one that says, hey, you gotta blend. You gotta blend the water and the fire together. You gotta learn to see that these 2 people, right, that create the cups, the dualities or the two people or the couple that you maybe are sad that this couple energy is not there anymore. And the 14 turns into a 5, right? And the 5 and the 1 is the 6. And so the 6, the self-love again is coming to you. The 6 and the 7 here is the 13. That's Scorpio. Let go, because again, Pluto is bringing you, do not let yourself drag down into this whirlpool of the past. It's not gonna do you good. It's creating unhappiness, it's creating sadness, it's creating a lot of things that you don't want. And so awaken, right? And change that. So now we come to you. Here your soul aspect is bringing you the Sota de Copas, the pages of water. So here you had the pages of Pentacles, and now you have the pages of water. And these are both feminine energies, right? Earth and water are feminine. And the water is giving to the earth the emotional satisfaction so that we can grow and that we can shift. And so here is Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces. And Pisces is your opposite sign, right? And so the 9 and the 3 is the 12. And the 12 is the Hanged Man. Let go and do inversions so that you can really let go of the 3 of Swords and 2 times the 4 of Cups, right? Don't hold on to this. This is not good, right? This is what is blocking you. And don't hold on to this either. Yes, there is a world pain here all over, but you gotta see the chance to create something new. And that's the 3 that is left here. The 3 is always the Venus energy, the new things that we can create. What is coming from Sagittarius? The Wheel of Fortune again. So you twice have the Wheel of Fortune, a 10-10 portal. 10-10 can also be calculated together as the 20. That's the Judgment. Let go, right? Let go, because you need to see that we need to come out of the past. The past doesn't exist anymore. And so the harvest is here. The 10 and the 3 is the 13. That's Scorpio. And in the Scorpio, again, we learn to transform, to change, to realize that we are fortunate enough to have this plenty, this manifesting power. So use it, right? And in the 13, the 4 appears, the 4 and the 9 is again the 13, and the 4 is left. So the 4 again is here the 4 emotions that you think you are having everything, but actually you don't have anything. Now, what is the Wheel of Fortune saying? Well, still the sea which is coming, right? And so here again, the 17, Aquarius is letting you know you gotta let go of the emotions drop by drop, right? The watering can is a good analogy of letting go of those emotions, right? If you don't let go, these plants will die. And so you need to let go. And this is the understanding in it. Otherwise, nothing can grow and we cannot eat. Now, what is bringing the Mother Piece Tarot? The Mother Piece Tarot is bringing you Capricorn, the Devil, to the right. And the Devil to the right, you see there is a hierarchy, there is this climbing up, right? And Pluto was now 15 years in Capricorn. And the 15 here is here, right? And now it's 20 years, and it's the Judgment is 20, right? Is 20 years in Aquarius. And so Capricorn is letting you know that you are still attached to certain outcomes. You're still thinking in old terms, right? the patriarch thinking, well, I need to control people. I need to actually make sure so that I can be a winner. I need to let people know they're below me. So the 15 turns into a 6, right? But you need to turn that into a 6, because the 5 and the 1, the 5 and the 1, or the 1 and the 5 is the 6 when we calculate it together. And the 6 is the liberation, is here in the third eye is the liberation. And so you see here the 15 and the 10 is the 25, the emotional intelligence, or the 10 and the 6 is the tower. Things gotta go and are leaving. This is not working anymore. No one wants to be controlled, but there's still people out there that like to control us. And so the 7 appears in both ways, right? And the 7 is the emotional intelligence. The 7 and the 3 is the 10. A new cycle wants to come, and you understand that the 10 and the 9 is the 19. The 19 is the sun. The sun is saying, well, you use the light to create new energies. Now, what is coming for Capricorn? And the Hanged Man is coming. Exactly what I said. Let go. Let this moment be a moment where you're not getting defined by failure, but that you are coming into an empowerment if you hang upside down, because it opens up your third eye. And so the Hanged Man, the 12th, right, is Neptune, the planet of dreams and opening yourself up to a new possibility by hanging upside down. And so the 12, right, becomes a 3 when we really work on uniting the 10 and the 2, right? The 10 is Jupiter and the 2 is the High Priestess, the intuition. Have your intuition sharpened, right, by hanging upside down, by using inversions. And see that the 3 comes. That's the Empress. That's then again Venus. And here have also the understanding that when you put the 10 and the 5 together, you can lead, right? Because the 10 again, Jupiter, and the 5 is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is ruled by Venus. And the Hierophant is the spiritual teacher that is coming to you. And the Hierophant is Taurus, and Taurus was here as well. So learn that and understand that and see that there is a huge message, because the 6 and the 3 is the 9 again. And the 9 is you. So you have a 9-9 portal, right? And you understand here the 3 and the 6 is also 9, 3 times the 9 here. I mean, it's very clear, but also a 3-3 here. You're a master, so use that mastery, right? But also see that things disappear, the tower, things go, but you have the emotional intelligence to know that. And so, of course, I want to see what is bringing the Hangman. I need to put this down, otherwise I get a cramp. What is bringing you the Hangman? The Hangman is bringing you the archetype, and it's the gossip, right? And in the gossip, because it's the Hangman, it's not the light aspect that is working here. That's why I'm using it here, right? Because the Hangman is the stage of consciousness where you're looking at this. And the dark or the shadow attribute of gossip is thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidence. So, let go. Let go of that. Do not talk about other people. Do not talk ever bad about anybody. It's not worth it. It's what creates that whirlpool of the past that is dragging you down into the moments that you maybe failed something. Don't talk about it. Let it go. Use the Hangman. Use that, right? Because you see now here the devil is pointing to the gossip. You see that? It's like, no more. You cannot do that. You gotta realize that you have to awaken to something more powerful than you can imagine, right? And again, here the 13 is the 4, and then here the 6 and the 3 is the 9. It's like the 9 and the 4 is the 13 again. Transformation, transformation, let go. And the 4 is left. The 4 and the 9, again the 13, transformation. The 4 is left. The 4 is left. So look at this closely. Why is this happening? Why are you not satisfied? Why? Why are you holding on to this? It's done. It's finished. Let go. Become the world, right? And so see that the message is clear. See that you need to awaken to a whole new consciousness, right? And you are the one that lets go of these emotions. You are the one that gives up these 2 4s. It's 44, the sacrifice. 4 times the 4. You feeling in your heart is coming because you are holding on. You are holding on to things that are gone, and you have it good. You really have it good. And I know I'm getting really excited here, but know that you need to awaken to a new you. You need to let your heart, which is here the 4th chakra, be healed because it's coming up again, right? And so let go and step out and see that you can change. You can. And don't talk bad about no one. Because if you talk about others bad, then you keep talking about yourself bad. And you don't want that. Because then you are repeating again and again the things that pull you down into the past, into the whirlpool of the sadness that these things have created in you. But you are more than that. You are here 2 times the wheel of fortune. Things shift and change all the time. So go with it and do not hold on, right? Yes, you like to hold on. Work in routine, right? Always the same. You cannot. You need to let go. Otherwise, you're just gonna get stuck in the negativity that drags you down, and you don't want that. You want to awaken. You want to hang upside down and shift your perspective. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when the sun is in Capricorn. So Capricorn is here. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.